And it is the Gr8 Northern Sexcast with the triumphant return from Mexico, Ms. Colleen Bertino. Hey, Colleen, welcome home.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
It was very warm there.
Oh, really?
And you guys didn't even have the decency to have a reasonable winter while I was gone.
I know, right? That does rather foil a person. How many days were you guys gone anyway?
I was gone 8 days. Went down with my daughter. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I saw the windy pictures, but I do know that you two rather enjoyed being tall people.
Yes. Yeah. The area that we were in is a little opposite from the area that we live in now. Minnesotans versus folks from southern Mexico.
Awesome. So we've got a really special guest in studio today, and I'm really excited because in a bazillion years of being aware of Colleen Kruse and all of the diverse work that you do and a bunch of really fun things, you're here to join us. Welcome.
Hi, Kelly. Hi, Colleen.
And then we also have Liz. Tell us your last name again because we dropped your segment last show. Sillimans. Okay. And so, Liz, you run the home party division for Fantasy Gifts, and that's what we do here. And you can find us, by the way, on Facebook and Twitter. Colleen, we've been terrible about this. Mentioning our Facebook page, you can just go to Gr8 Northern Sexcast on the Facebook page. The picture that we have up on the cover now is with the cute little forest animal dildos. Love it.
Yeah, Megan.
Yep.
One of my managers did that. She does a lot of our social media.
Yeah.
Because if I had to do it, I would go insane.
Yeah. That is just funny stuff. Really, really cool. So let's do this. The two Colleens here, and this is an awkward thing when we've got two people with the same name in the room, but we'll deal with it. You guys are...
You can call me Bandit.
Bandit. Okay. I like it.
Do we need a Camaro?
Yeah, maybe.
Or was it a Pontiac? I don't remember.
So how do you guys know each other? You go back a way.
We met at... Where did we meet? Oh, my gosh.
Old radio show.
I think so.
Yeah. Probably in the hallway as I was terrorizing the producers doing my own commercials.
And then I found out what you did for a living, and I said, oh, my gosh, I'm a big fan of what you do for a living and your place.
So I got to be on the radio a few times, and it was fun.
That's right. That's right.
And so we just sort of kept in touch since.
Mm-hmm. And so did you get any specialized warehouse tours and things like that at the beginning?
I didn't, but I'm pretty familiar with the stock. Just put it that way.
Okay.
I feel good about it.
You really must if you haven't ever made a trip down to headquarters, and they'll let you run amok and look at everything and play with the little puffy penises on the walls that are in the warehouse. It's a fun day, and Colleen's mom will offer you cookies. I'm just saying.
That's good. Cookies are always good.
Yeah, it's always good to have your mom there.
So,
especially when I used to bring my daughter in when she was a baby. And because I go, here, play with baby.
Speaking of which, if you guys hear anything, I do have a baby with me. I'm not with child, but I'm with child.
There she is.
As if on cue. Good job, Carolina. Good job. We like it. So did I bring a baby to a sex-themed podcast? Yes, I did.
And
I did.
And luckily, she can't understand us, which at this point in time. But I think we need to put a fine point on the situation with this adorable little cherub here. She is actually sitting in a cardboard box.
Yes.
As in by way of confining her, but she's pretty cute.
Yeah.
So any good stories from Mexico before we move into other things?
Just the fact that when I'm down there, I kept thinking, I'm too old to think that these men are that good looking. And then I was, wait a minute, you can always enjoy a good looking view.
Oh my gosh. Yes, you can.
Was there a lot of boombalottis down there?
It was just, at one point they were like cleaning the beach and because there was a lot of seaweed. And I mean, even the chef was out there, everything. But a lot of the guys had their shirts off. And I really don't, it was just a really nice view.
Do you want a pool boy for your birthday?
Well, I need a pool.
Okay. No, you don't have to have the pool. We'll just hire the pool boy. Come on.
No, I have a perfectly good guy. So that's all taken care of.
Okay. All right. So while you were gone, you left me with some reading material, right? Remember these?
Yes. There's a couple of magazines called XBiz and stuff like that. And I figured I'll send them to you.
Yeah.
They look...
The dog. My puppy has separation anxiety, and for those of you, obviously we aren't doing this on camera yet, but he did quite the S&M job to both of the magazines, and about he would eat like half a section so you could get half of an article. He made sure he got half of everything that I was interested in reading. So if I can,
dog.
So the dog really did eat your homework, is what you're saying.
there it is.
Yeah.
There it is, right there. So yeah,
Truly.
no, I mean, but one of the things that I thought was interesting because one of our recent last shows, guys, you had who was out in LA buying? Tara was. Mm-hmm. Okay. And we were talking about kind of some of the things that she was, the highlights of what she was seeing, but I'm seeing all this lingerie and it's a whole big new push this year. And you, Liz, you have a lot to do with the lingerie too, don't you? Yeah.
Oh yeah, she does all the buying. I don't envy. I don't envy the choices. There's just so much beautiful stuff.
The whole trend this year that I thought was really interesting is really more of a melding between the boudoir and the streetwear coming out. Have you noticed that from your end of this?
Yeah. I mean, I think there is a lot of stuff I sell that I think people pair with regular clothes. Like I do a lot of seamless stuff. It's hard to explain. It's kind of like hosiery but thick. Right? Thicker.
Yep.
But it's a 4-way stretch, and it has holes in, maybe the sleeves are fishnet, but the rest is solid. And then they'll wear that. They'll pair that with, like, a solid tank top.
Okay.
So they'll wear this.
Kind of like that Gwen Stefani look.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does a lot of that. She'll wear a mesh top
Yep.
of different, gauge meshes, and then she'll put a bikini top over it.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking, oh, that one string. One string, Gwen.
But that's what she wants us to think.
That's right.
So yeah, but I was looking at this, and the article was pretty lengthy in your trades, talking about, again, and Colleen, I know we mentioned 50 Shades of Grey, but now it's getting, even more buzz, and that this is going to be even, really catapulted. But the part of the article that I thought was interesting, Liz, and Colleen, I want you guys to, or any of you, Bandit, to tell me, I was thinking it was really interesting about body acceptance, the increase of body acceptance, and which I thought was really positive. Do you agree that you're finding that?
Well, I think, especially in our state where so many women are plus size, I think they are accepting of their bodies. Their partners obviously like their bodies, and they want to wear things that are form-fitting and scantal, like bikinis. They don't want to buy a giant tent that might be lacy, but a tent. They want to wear, they want a two-piece. They want a mini dress. They want a skin-tight mini dress.
Body stockings, the full body stockings
Yep.
in the fishnet or the fence net or
Yep.
the slash that you were talking about.
Yep.
And we have always carried large size, and it's just becoming more and more as folks realize we have it and they're comfortable with themselves.
Well, I think what's happening now that I'm finding as a buyer is I actually have choices in plus size. Like it used to be that they'd have a catalog would have 30, 40 styles for regular, and then maybe like 5 of those they would make into plus size, right?
Yeah.
The baby dolls, right?
Yeah.
And that would be it.
Oh, yeah.
Now it seems like 60% are plus size, and some companies are even better. Some companies are just straight, it comes in regular, it comes in plus.
Yeah.
And that's really great.
Yeah.
Because who are they to determine what size somebody is going to be who wants to wear it?
Some of that what did you call it? The
Seamless.
and the
four-way
multi-direction
stretch.
4-way stretch. Yeah. I honestly think, the tents don't do anything for anybody. I like to see something, especially on someone that's got, the curves and things like that. At what point did somebody flip the switch and get the clue back there?
I think it probably came from their buyers telling them, every time I go into a trade show and I meet up with the manufacturers saying, I need more plus size. I need more plus size. I need more cute plus size, please.
Yeah.
It's been a decade that you have been saying, I need this,
Well,
we
it
want
started
this.
with extra large. I have a few companies and now everything goes extra large. And then, so now what I'm trying to do is I have a lot of packaged lingerie where it comes in a box, right? It's not hanging. And some of the companies will have the plus size person. And some of the companies will just put queen size on the outside, but the model is regular size.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you're not going to shoot a plus size person wearing this, I can't carry it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're looking at it and you've got someone that once again is a lingerie model, and you're trying to, envision yourself. And
Yeah.
I'm a plus size person, and I'm looking at that going, how's that going to fit on me?
Yeah.
And they have a lot more women who want to be plus size models now too.
Yeah. Well, interestingly enough, my boyfriend's sister is not anymore, but in her 20s and for a number of years, she was a plus size model for the Ford agency out of New York. And she traveled all over the world. And what I really loved, this was the 80s, okay? What I really loved about some of the memorabilia she still has from her time doing this, and she's a stunning woman, is that they shot her in underwear. And it was, the type of underwear and she's just fine with it, and actually now she's in her 50s and she looks really great. She's smaller than she was back when she was modeling, but not tiny. She's very tall. But she, she's lost a lot of weight, but I love those pictures. I thought she just looked fabulous. And I know we're obesity obsessed and everybody has to post the calories at McDonald's now and we're supposed to, be healthy and all that other kind of stuff. But I think that shaming people, I think that era should be over.
Yeah, and it's true plus size too. It used to be that plus size was a size 10.
Well,
yeah, and now some. But it's great. But we can get stuff up to 2, 3x.
And some will picture their model as true plus size, and some there's a few plus size models that I'm like, where? Or she's been photoshopped too much.
Okay.
So that's a little, there was that Calvin Klein has a new quote unquote plus size model, and she's like a size 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, that's not a plus size model.
Yeah.
But I do have a few companies that they use a plus size model. She has a belly, she has a butt, she's got big arms, and they don't Photoshop her, and that's what she looks like, and that's what you're selling. There is such a thing as fit and fat.
Yep.
And there are plenty of people out there that want somebody who is squishy.
Yeah.
And luscious, and they don't want bones and hard parts. They want squishiness. They want to be enveloped by their love
bunny.
Yeah. So there is a whole trend of what is beauty, and and I think anytime I talk to women and they're they complain about how I would never look good on me, and I'm like, how do you know? You just try it.
Yeah.
Your partner is with you for a reason. I'm sure they find you sexually attractive.
And the thing is that when you're doing the home parties, you do tend to talk to a lot of people, and we bring some lingerie to it, depending on what's going on. Besides the toys and the other information. Yep. So it's a little bit of everything, not just one thing. That's what I've really liked about them.
What's our tweet? Our Twitter? Our Twitter is?
The Twitter is at GN Sexcast.
Okay, at GN Sexcast. I really want to hear from the guys about this because there's so many different schools of thoughts. And I know we've got a few guys that have posted on our Facebook page, which is Gr8 Northern Sexcast. And you can find our funny, hilarious logo and the photos that have been put up, which thank you so much. I think they're so cute. But give us some comments about men and body image and weight. I think we all turn our heads at the supermodels. Let's just be honest. But in reality, how many of us really date them? I'd like to hear some male input. One of the things I do want to ask you guys, because I know that you get into some real interesting conversations, shall we say, with the people in the actual stores shopping, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because Liz, not only do I task her with the home parties and the events and the shopping, she merchandises. So she's in the stores because she knows there's the personalities for the stores and things that go together and the things that she buys together that she wants to sell together. So the best person,
if you want it done right, sometimes you have to do it yourself.
Well, there's that.
you have an idea, and by the time she could make a planogram, she could just go do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how often does this come up, either at the home parties or in conversations in the stores when people are exploring that? Oh, I'm too chicken to try that, or I don't know if that would look good on me. Does that come up frequently? Do you run into it?
I think it comes up more in home parties because if a woman is in our store shopping for lingerie, she's already wants it. She's already like, I'm here and I'm going to try stuff on. Or the type of woman that is comfortable in lingerie she's shopping with us. You know what I mean? So it's the home parties where I get a lot of women where I bring the lingerie, but like there's quite a few that are like, oh, that stuff never looks good. Or I hear it'll never fit me.
Oh, okay.
I hear that the most.
Okay.
And so at that point, I'm like, hey, I have a lot of stuff that's big. Have you tried anything on? There's a lot of stuff that I'm like, sometimes it's as simple as just some thigh-high stockings or a pair of crotchless underwear.
Mm-hmm.
You can pair it with your good bra that looks good on you, and maybe a sexy top.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe you're just, but you can start where you're comfortable with. So, I mean, that's where I see it most, is in the home parties, where somebody isn't coming to me to shop for lingerie. They're coming to me to shop for toys.
Okay.
And so I'm, trying to explore their, expand their horizon on what they could do.
Some of the stuff, though, the more like outfits that you guys have, and you can go to fantasygifts.com, and there's some really, there's a million things to see there. And you can click on the Minnesota or the New Jersey site to visit, which, by the way, how's New Jersey doing? Have you talked to those guys in the snow?
It has, pretty much they cleared out the grocery shelves, but it looks as though what I've seen is that it went past them a little bit. New York and it swirled across, it hit Philadelphia, but it didn't quite hit the South Jersey area. It's always been fascinating. They've had to deal with so much more winter than we have this year.
Well, you know what? I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I heard a Facebook post that, like, Minnesotans don't know snow. Like, like we had that hour-long or plus hour-long commute like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And there was, like, for what, a half inch of snow?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It is a little preposterous. You'd think we'd man up a little bit more when it comes to that. But yeah, so I was wondering about the New Jersey stores, because you guys do have 2 of those. But one of the things I wanted to ask you guys is, there's another article that I read in a companion with this, talking about how this is probably, as a trend, going to be more and more typically worn as outerwear. Madonna started that a bazillion years ago, but now you're seeing Nicki Minaj and, of course, Miley Cyrus. And I'm wondering,
She wears clothes?
Well, little teeny ones, little teeny clothes. Yeah,
Okay, just check.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm just wondering if you guys can see that portion of fantasy gifts like really blowing up, or no.
Well, we once again, the folks in our area tend to be a little bit more practical.
Yeah.
And so when they're looking at an item, it's like, how can I wear it again? How easy to clean? How many different ways can I use
I think
it?
it's also like what they're thinking about when they come shopping with us. So like somebody who wants to buy those kind of trendy clothes are probably shopping at the mall, at the the trend stores, and they're probably going to start carrying more lingerie.
Okay.
Whereas if they're coming to our stores, they're coming because they have a date, they have an anniversary, they have something that's around sex. They're not thinking of like, oh, I need a new shirt.
Okay.
I'm going to go to Fantasy Gifts and get a new shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
you know.
And there's a lot more involved in sizing when it comes to some of that stuff. The more foundation we're going through there, and honestly, some of my stores are just too small.
Yeah, we don't carry foundation wear, so we don't carry bras separate in sizes.
Okay.
Like, the A, B, C, D.
Yeah, I mean that was a conscious decision made decades ago, where we're just looking at it going, you need too many.
Yeah.
And it's a different mindset, and we're going for the fun and for the frivolous and for the sexy. Not that foundation wear can't be those things, but it's another business.
Yeah, it is. And you go to a Victoria's Secret and like half the store is just bras, and then they have all those drawers. I
Right.
mean, that's the kind of quantities you're thinking of. Where, I mean, we carry small, medium, large, extra large, and then 1, 2, 3X.
Yep.
So you're looking at 6 or 7 sizes
Sure.
for any given style. So that's a lot simpler than 20 to 25 sizes for one style. You know, but but I like to tell ladies, I'm like, you know what, the lingerie tends to come in a B cup, regular, C cup plus. If you are outside of that, just wear a bra underneath.
Yeah.
Just what woman doesn't have a really sexy black bra? You just put it on underneath. It holds your girls up, and then you can look really good in the outfit. And a guy isn't going to be like, "Why are you wearing a bra underneath?"
You just more for the unpackaging later.
Yeah.
Unpackaging. I like
And
that.
then I hear that a lot. Like, "Oh, why should I spend all this money on something I'm just going to take off?" Well, I have a lot of stuff that you don't need to take off. It's crotchless. It's a demi, like a shelf bra. You know, I mean, you just kind of push it out of the way and you're still wearing it. So for somebody who's plus size, who doesn't necessarily want to get completely naked, right, they can still keep their outfit on that covers the spots that they're, self-conscious of, and, and then maybe they can have the sex on with all the lights.
There you go. I didn't even think about it that way. So yeah, well, kind of on this note, I want to transition since we've got Liz here, and we'll have Colleen Kruse back in here in a couple minutes here. I was wondering, we did this great segment about home parties, and got lost in cyberspace, and so I know that you handle that for Fantasy Gifts, and it's getting popular again. Why is that?
Money.
Money, yeah.
People have extra money. There's nothing like $2 gasoline to keep people out there shopping, and more people are employed. They feel better about inviting their friends over for an event.
Yeah, if half your friends are out of work, you're not inviting them to a home party.
Well, and do you guys find too that they usually make an agreement with a group of friends that they're going to do this versus one person says they're going to do it and talks everybody into coming to buy stuff?
I'd say both.
Okay.
I'd say both happen. Sometimes you get, I get a lot. If it's just a party for fun, it might be work buddies. Like you get a bunch of work friends are like, oh, we should totally have a sex party. We should totally have one. And then one, okay, I'll do it. Mm-hmm. And then they, and then they invite more people, but I think it usually starts as that. You get, people who are women who are together in some capacity. Like I've done neighborhood groups like Bunko.
Oh, yeah, Bunko parties, yeah.
Or, book clubs, they just decide to change it up.
Yeah,
that's actually a great idea.
I haven't done any 50 Shades book clubs, but I don't know. Somebody must read that for their book club, but...
Well, I'm sure somebody did.
I don't know what you're talking
I'm
about.
sure. One of the funny things that I heard mentioned about the film that's awkward is that it was written, I guess, by a British woman, and that the film has all these phrases that, can you fetch me a cup of jam? Stuff that we wouldn't say, so that's kind of, it detracts from the rest of it. But then I guess when certain other things happen, you're riveted anyway, so never mind.
Yeah. Well, I guess I've heard the script is terrible, so if the person who wrote the script can't figure out how to rephrase that stuff.
Well, I don't think it's going to be too much about the dialogue anyway. And the pre-sales seem to be doing quite well. And Valentine's Day was an excellent time for it to go out, and it's we've stocked up on our blindfolds and our Benoit balls and our anal plugs, and in fact we've I've got some we talked about what the buyer found, and so I've got a few things we can talk about in another segment about what we found at the show. You promised to show me stuff, so I really do want you to give us a guideline. Okay, if someone decides that they want to have an in-home party, what do we have to do?
Well, they email me or call me.
Okay.
Hopefully they'd have a date kind of set in their head, so they can let me know and I can let them know whether I'm free.
Sure.
Preferably 2-week notice, because I have to schedule it into my work, other jobs, and it's not something I can just throw together at the last minute.
Right.
And then as far as what they have to do for me, that's pretty much it. I get everything together, and then on their end, they would then need to contact everyone they want to invite, make sure that there's enough people coming. You want to have a party between 5 and 25. I'd say 12 to 15 is ideal.
Okay.
And then you need food, beverages, a clean house.
Yeah. That last one might be a tough one. Yeah. Well, how do you decide what all you're going to bring?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, just over the years, I've really honed into the stuff that seems to get the most reaction, and people are interested in and want to buy. So, you get...
she used to live with almost an entire panel truck worth of stuff. I actually bought a panel truck thinking that, we could pull in with this big truck and do all this. Yeah, that was overkill, you wouldn't believe. And
it was logo on the side?
It was it was difficult to drive. You needed a special permit. And I'm like, what was I thinking? But I was thinking big.
Yeah, I like it.
Big is good.
Yes, it is. And who wouldn't want to see a panel truck full of sex toys pulling into their driveway?
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Well, now it's just a cargo van, but it's like I have a water-based lube and a silicone lube, and then I have some books, and I have some massage oils. I mean, you take all the categories, all the different types of things that we sell, and I figure out what is the best one or two of those items.
And they may come to you and say, "Hey, we've got an interest in the group in a certain category of something."
Yeah, it can be personalized.
Yeah, well, I usually, if somebody I'll tell the hostess to let everyone know that they can go onto our website, and if there's anything specific they want to see, I can grab it and bring it.
Okay.
It happens, but I would have to say most people buy what I show.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not there, it usually doesn't get purchased,
No.
or if it's even not talked about.
Yeah, everything I bring I have to show, otherwise no one will buy it. But it's pretty typical. People buy. They'll do some foreplay stuff. Some massage oils, lotions, that kind of stuff. They might buy a lube or two, and then they'll buy a little tiny vibrator, whether a bullet or more of a stick, but only in the 3-inch range.
Okay.
Like the under $20
Okay.
price point. They want to see the rabbits. They want to see.
The rechargeables, the high-end stuff.
But they're not necessarily going to buy it that night. That's something that maybe they'll purchase later.
Okay.
And then some parties, they'll buy a masturbator for their partner.
Oh.
Like, I'm going to spend $150 on myself, and I'm going to spend $20 on you.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's
Makes
okay.
them feel better.
and much like most shopping, women who shop together buy the same things.
Yes.
Oh.
It works. Sure. It works no matter where you are or what you're buying.
Yep. That's the one problem I have, and I'll never know what it is. I one time had a party where I sold 17 copies of Tickle His Pickle.
Really?
I brought 4.
Okay.
And I think I was lucky, and I actually managed to find 17 copies
at all the stores. Yeah,
yes,
because we will rotate our book selection around. There are just so many books out there, so many really good books that we, like I said, we just get them and okay, we'll have this one, and then next time we'll try this one. The next time, we rotate them around.
But there are a few toys that I know I will sell at every party, and I will sell 6 to 8 of them, and those I just bring more of.
Yeah, and that's it. She will bring them.
Yeah.
And if we don't have it, we'll get it to you, and we'll ship it to you, and it will, no shipping
comes
charge.
A couple days. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, back up. I want to tickle his pickle. Book review, please.
Oh, it's an
Details.
excellent book. Yeah, it's a how-to guide for a partner to read for their male partner. So it covers hand jobs, blow jobs, mutual masturbation. It covers what kind of lubes to use, really specific techniques like the screwdriver, and and it's a nice short book. It's like a 4x6.
Well, most episodes are, aren't they?
Yeah, it's like a 4x6 and maybe 30 pages.
Okay.
But it is excellent. It's really, really good because it's got illustrations. And it's written by Sadie Allison, she has a few books. She has Tickle My Tush, and she has a new one, Ride 'em Cowgirl.
Oh, that sounds really good. Yeah, there's just so many things out there. We'll have to take a look.
She used to be on the KQRS morning show.
Sweet. Mm-hmm. Sweet.
She'd come on a few times, but she's funny, and she's, so her book is, it's entertaining to read, but really informative and easy. I think when people want how-to books, they want something that they can just open up, look through it quick, get what they want, and then put it down. They're not going to read, a reference manual.
No, I don't want to have it described in multi-paragraph stuff. I mean, you can pretty much get the gist if but that's I want to start doing the Gr8 Northern Sexcast book club review. So I have got to secure a copy of this, and then I will come back and I'll put a summary of what I thought of it, and we'll talk about it on the next one. But I mean, I'm not exactly 12 years old anymore, and all of us have been. I mean, I've been with my partner for well over 5 years now, and it's funny. I would be very curious to see if there would be anything new, because I mean, even if you're still reasonably happy with your repertoire, if you will, I mean, I'll admit that it can get rather you can get in ruts with it, and I mean, I think that. I mean, that's how you guys make your living.
I think that's one of the reasons we go, do you have any more books? Do you have something? And we started rotating the books because
it's all about inspiration.
Yeah.
I think as far as a couple is concerned.
No, I think that's a great idea. Tickle His Pickle. Do we still have it at Fantasy Gifts?
Yeah.
It's a classic?
Yeah.
Okay. It's up there with Gone with the Wind, so to speak. Okay. We gotta check that one out. One other thing I've been dying to ask you about the parties. Have you ever had anybody just freak out, like just get way too embarrassed, or just any really awkward?
The biggest awkward, I was doing a bachelorette party, and I was leaving, or I was going out to the van to get something. I don't think the party had started yet. And the mother of the bride, whose house it was, and her husband were having a very heated conversation in the driveway about how inappropriate it was for her to be shopping for sex toys in front of her daughter and her mother. And I was like, okay.
And here you are leading the charge, right?
Right.
Carrying boxes of dildos in through the front door on a pallet lift thing. Oh,
exactly.
My God. Oh.
I'm like, don't mind me.
Did she leave?
He left. I mean, he wasn't invited, so
it
was a bachelor. I mean, it was her daughter's bachelorette party. I mean, it's, she was just like, whatever. I mean, I do like quiet buying. So like, you're not like in the middle of a group of people. You're not saying, okay, I'll take 2 of those and 3 of those.
Yeah.
I go to like a separate room, and we go over what you want to purchase, and then I can answer, more questions. So, like, if she wants to take her black bag, and if she wants to put it in her purse and put it in her cart, no one has to know what she's buying. Now, does that happen? No, because they all then
show each other.
Right. But if somebody wanted to keep, maybe half the purchase is private and half they're willing to share. But I mean, that's up to them. I don't know what he was worried about, but that's,
clearly needs his pickle tickled.
Yeah.
Obviously. I mean, no, but I mean, I'm just, I did have one other question for you on that particular note. I'm headed out the end of this week to Arizona. And it's big weekend down there. It's the Phoenix Open, hilarious golf, funniest one on the tour. And then also the Super Bowl is going to be down there. So it's going to be pretty nutty. And there's going to be 8 adults, 45 to 55, staying in her 3-bedroom house. Okay. It's going to be like a middle-aged damn dorm. And so being that this is my best friend since we were 14, I would like to bring a hostess gift that embarrasses the living hell out of her.
Oh, you should.
What should I get?
The Colossal? The largest.
Either that or something that that a couple might actually use. Because trust me, it won't take much to embarrass her.
I think, we have some really good vibrating cock rings.
Yeah.
That
screaming
have like themes. Not even this. There's other ones we get from like Cal Exotics that have like themes on them, like elephants. Like there's the cock ring, but then the vibrating part is like the clitoral, and that
Oh, okay.
There's some of those that are kind of funny.
She loves elephants. That might be it right there.
Yeah, and they are. A lot of them are packaged, and if it's a heterosexual couple, are packaged that way.
Yeah,
and it would be appropriate because it's a very functional item, but it also has a lot of humor.
Yes.
And involved in it.
That's it.
Either that or candy tassels.
Candy tassels.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Pasties.
The candy necklaces.
Yeah.
That stuff, but it made into
pasties
with tassels.
Okay. Okay.
And we have underwear that matches.
Oh,
so you can buy her an outfit.
Okay,
and that would be appropriate for Valentine's Day.
It's my new hostess gift. That's when I'm gonna stop in. Liz, we really appreciate you coming back, and I really wanted to get this segment back. So did Colleen, with you to talk about the home parties because it's really a lot of fun. And I remember these used to be popular, and then the economy kind of went funky. It's coming back, and there's so much new stuff has happened, Colleen.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really good information.
Well,
and I think it's not. Liz's pay is not dependent on what she sells.
Yep.
So it's not a pyramid scheme. It's not I'm going to buy more because I'm going to get a larger percentage. There's nothing about it where you're going to be pressured to sell or buy it yourself.
Yep.
And so I think you save half an hour right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can get right to the stuff.
You don't need a home party to buy a candle. You don't need a home party to buy Tupperware. Mm-hmm. But sex toys?
Yeah.
It's where can you go where you can get a bunch of your girlfriends together and you can all have a glass of wine and talk about what works and what doesn't? Because nowhere else are your girlfriends going to really tell you what they're doing in their bedroom. And then you can actually see every toy and understand what it's used for. And you're just not going to get that if you could get some of it if you went into a store. But our employees aren't going to open 30 items for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
well, we'll get
They'll
close.
open 2 or 3, but they're not going to open 30.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
we just with other customers in the store, when you
Yeah.
have that one-on-one
Yeah.
information that you can get at a home party,
Yeah.
it just you can't help but be more intensive.
Yeah.
And you do co-ed parties too. You've
yeah.
had those. So that's also possible if you've got a group of friends that are, well, very close, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, sometimes couples parties are couples.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just male and female, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, what if everyone is aware
For
of
sure.
who is going to be there, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to surprise people with the one lone male guest.
No, that would be, once again, quite awkward.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and round up Ms. Colleen Kruse. I know she's here somewhere in the Gr8 Northern Sexcast studios, and we'll be back in just a moment. Sean's going to edit this for me. So 35:24. So let's see how she's doing. If her little pumpkin is okay, if she can come back. Because I really want to. There's stuff I think should be so much fun to talk about.
I could entertain her. I tell you, so much stuff you could just like keep talking
Oh yeah.
over and over again.
Colleen? Okay, just wondering if Liz is... Oh, yeah. Can you? I don't know.
Let's see if I can entertain her.
That would be super sweet.
Yeah, she's a mom. She's used to babies. A little bit, but not too bad. God, I hope I'm not coming down with anything to make that I'm not.
My head is just like, oh, I'm better now, but when we first started, I was just like, oh.
No, yeah. So we've got some. She's printed out some stuff that she has coming in.
Sorry.
That's okay.
That was always the joy. Always had a baby-friendly office. Why not have a baby-friendly podcast? Oh yeah.
Okay, so all I'm going to do, Sean's going to edit the middle out for me right here. So I'm just going to pretend like we're coming back from a break, Colleen, and then we'll just jump into a bunch of stuff.
Awesome.
You want to start showing us both because I want to get her reaction. Then.
No, okay. Yeah, some of the stuff's. I think we can see a lot of it.
Okay,
Okay,
you ready?
got it.
Welcome back to the Gr8 Northern Sexcast. Kelly Guest here along with Colleen Bertino and a bonus Colleen this week. We have Colleen Kruse in studio. Colleen, I am so tickled to have you here to chat with us because I followed you for a bazillion years. And for the people that don't know you, can you just give some of your background for us?
Oh, for crying out loud.
I know.
am from the east side of St. Paul. I'm a local comedian. Used to be on the radio. I guess I still am sometimes for commercials. And and now I'm doing podcasting and a whole lot of other stuff right now.
And kitty cat wrangling.
Kitty cat wrangling. Yes.
I've seen
Cat
pictures
lady.
of you.
I'm a cat lady.
That's
I'm a
awesome.
cat lady right now.
That's awesome. But you've been performing for a very long time.
Bazillion years.
And you've got to tell me the name of, because this used to tickle me. It was the guy that was related to the City Pages, the brother, the magazine that you were like the muse for the magazine for what?
Tom Bartel.
Tom Bartel. Yeah, what was
Right.
the magazine called?
The Rake.
The Rake. I know. I was so bummed when the Rake went away.
Me too.
Because
That was a fun place to be.
well, and you wrote a lot too.
I did. I had a column every month.
Yeah. So are you going to do any more writing? Do you think?
I have never stopped writing, but I've been writing shows. So
Yeah.
storytelling and shows and stuff. I've got a show coming up. I've got a show coming up Valentine's Day. I think at the Schooner. I have a bunch of road gigs. I mean, just go to my Facebook page and you'll see.
Okay, and
Yeah.
it's your last name is spelled Kruse. So
That's right,
look,
Kruse.
Yep, look Colleen up on Facebook because I've had the pleasure of seeing you do stand-up, albeit it was quite some time ago. Really fun show, great performer. So just a quick, I mean, one of the things I think a lot of comedians disagree or agree with us on this, that you really kind of prey on those awkward, you find those things in human experience and bring them out.
That's commonalities, those awkward commonalities.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so how do you go about, I've been always wanting to ask someone in your profession, I mean, how does this stuff come to you?
You just, for me, maybe there's a scientific way of going about it for other people, but for me, I just sort of Forrest Gump my way along. And when something strikes me once pretty heavy, I just start writing about it, and I see where it goes. You know?
Yeah, you don't go shopping for a joke. It just
it sort of appears. It sort of appears. Stephen King had this great analogy about writing. He just said, "I'm digging for the bodies in the basement." Right? And that's it. He said, I know they're there. I live in this great haunted house, and I'm digging for the bodies in the basement.
Yeah, no,
So
I have friends that are writers and performers, and you just have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, I mean, you don't just say, today I'm going to do this, or today I'm going to do that. You're going to perform.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a daily, it's work.
It's work. I already wrote today.
And well, what does happen though when you do have a show coming up and it's not coming? I mean, how do you jar your muse?
Sometimes you just suck, Kelly. That's just all there is. Sometimes you just get up there and lay a big, fat, stinky egg, and that's how it goes. You know. Yeah.
No, and like any job. I mean, you're like, hey, this line is going to be great.
Yep.
Nah, not so much.
Yep. Yep. In fact, I wrote one of the very first jokes that I ever wrote was based on a time that I went to Fantasy Gifts. I went to Fantasy Gifts because I wrote this. You try so hard to think of things that are going to be funny, and then they're not funny. But I did get to write the doll off on my taxes that year, and I wrote a joke that required the use of a blow-up doll on stage. And this is like in maybe the late 80s, the early 90s, and the only place in the Twin Cities to get any blow-up doll of what and I needed a male blow-up doll was Fantasy Gifts. So I went to Fantasy Gifts, right? And it was the first time I'd ever been in a shop.
So in other words, you actually purchased it. You just didn't grab and run out of the store.
I purchased
because we
it.
had that.
I
yes.
purchased it, but you know it was really funny at the time, and I don't know if you had. I mean, we're about the same age, aren't we? Or we're
a couple years older than you.
Exactly.
But yeah.
So you, I don't know, maybe you were in store, but I went in there. It was, because I was like 19, 20 years old. I went in there and I saw all of the whirligigs and buzzing things. And this is the first time I was.
Oh, they still had the display where you press the buttons. Oh God, I love that.
That's exactly it. And I had to resist the urge to play chopsticks because you could press the different buttons to test the different kung fu actions of the different thingamajiggers.
Oh, I wish they still existed.
But what I loved about that is that they were locked up.
Oh yeah.
They were locked up because, like, you would be so possessed by the sight of a wall of penises that you just grab one and run out the street. Like you couldn't get a real penis for free anytime you wanted, because that's penis is peso, vagina is yen. That's the exchange rate on that.
My father used to have the most fun with that when he started, because they have big groups of people would come in and they'd press everything, and then this is when you used to be able to like go shopping with your coworkers. You don't do that anymore.
Right.
But so they'd buy a mug and a pencil and something,
and
he'd go
card
up,
for Gail's birthday.
Yeah, and they'd come up and you'd go, that'd be $57.50, and they look and he goes, yeah, it's like $12 for this, and it's a quarter every time you press the button, and they would just bust a gut. That was always his standard line, and the company stopped making them because they're so. But it just it just used to crack me up.
It was really fun, and then from then on, that was what I did. I took people into Fantasy Gifts because I said, this is fantastic.
My dad was probably behind the counter at the time because I still would have been in college.
Hello, Mr. Bertino.
Wherever you are.
Yeah.
So, Colleen, you've got you've got some. You're going to show us some of the new stuff that's coming.
Well, it's on order, and it should be in. One of the things that came in, we were talking about sparkly butt plugs.
Yes,
butt plugs last time.
They've been a theme.
This one's not sparkly, but it is Valentine theme. It is. They come in pink, yellow, and purple. And they're a medium-sized butt plug, and the plug apart is a little heart that's sort of like a conversation heart. We'll be getting pictures up on the site, and it has like Be Mine and Spank Me. I sort of squealed. I went all girly, and I squealed when I saw it. I said, that's like the most adorable butt plug I've ever seen. And I just, most of the time, I'm just like, oh, okay, that's cute. I involuntarily girl squeal when I saw the adorable butt plugs.
Okay, heart-shaped butt plugs. Like it.
We have new dildos coming in, and they're from Blush, and they're in fun colors again. They're in blue and pink, much more fantasy
Sure.
So they're not nearly as intimidating. And they have suction cut bases because you want a good sturdy base on these items.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's so much stuff coming in, but these are the two that are coming in. What we have in is stuff from System Joe, which is their Red Room. And can you get the reference on that? That's
50
from
Shades of
50
Grey.
Shades.
You know what? I got about halfway through the first one, and I just stopped reading.
I couldn't even get
I
past.
did. It wasn't that it was embarrassing to me. I just couldn't identify with Anastasia Steele because I'm a grown-up lady. So every time she turned around and, oh my gosh, I don't know what that, I just couldn't I couldn't get behind the idea of a novice. So that means I'm old.
Well, no, I mean, I
But the Red Room was very intriguing.
Yeah.
'Cause I understand.
Yeah, we had our Friendly store years ago actually had, not one that you could do, so we sold things, but I painted a room red. I had done everything, once again, about 20 years ahead of,
Of course you did.
Yeah. But it's really, because this new stuff that comes out, they came out with, it's got blindfolds and lube and
Sure.
a small whip and just a nice
But I like this because
starter
it's
kit.
entry-level kink, and it's not scary, and it shows you that all those things that you might think are scary, that you think about in your deepest, darkest recesses of your mind. No, actually, we all tend to have certain ideas that we think are left of field, and here's a nice little kit for you that'll...
Yeah, I mean, it's from a company that we adore, so we picked up displays for all the stores, and
They're
they're in
beautiful.
now.
They're very, very
And,
stylized.
lubes and Ben Wall walls, and the everything should be online soon. We just got them in, but I wanted to bring it in. But it's in the
So
stores.
is that Emma Roberts in the ad? Because, boy, that actress sure looks like Emma Roberts.
Or the model, yeah.
Yeah, or not Emma Roberts, or what's her name? Dakota Fanning. No, not Dakota Fanning.
Oh,
I can't Google while we're on the air.
Dakota, what's
no.
her face?
Oh,
Melanie and Don Johnson. Dakota
I don't
Johnson.
know someone. I don't.
Jeez Louise.
No, I don't think it is, but I think they did an excellent job of locating models that
That looks like her.
they'll look like them.
Yeah.
And this would make good gift boxes too, Colleen, because it's all very classy and packaged super well from what I can see.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, as we get closer to Valentine's Day, the I just need something, and let's and if it's in a box, it sells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can buy it, I can put it in a bag, and it's a gift, and it's ready to go.
Yeah.
Because the last minute shoppers are notorious for Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm. Do you stay open 24 hours or anything like that?
I have to admit, we have considered it, but I just don't have enough employees, and I would like to keep them alive.
Yeah.
They would be too exhausted.
Yeah.
But we're already open from 10 to 11.
Okay.
And, Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday noon to 8. So that's lots of shopping time.
Yeah, that's
And
nice.
generally, not to sound like an old fuddy-duddy, but pretty much anyone past that time is up to no good.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it too, but I think about it, it's like,
That's what you want, though. You want the guys that...
I want them-
but I totally get it.
Yeah, it's just we're open downtown until about midnight, and I'm just fine. We just dropped everything back to added 11 to everyone else, dropped them to 11, and so I'm just same hours across the board.
Sure.
Makes it easier when you're filling out like 42 social media pages too.
And I mean, 11's pretty late, but when you think about it, I mean, is this how people generally do it? Like a couple will go out to dinner and it's like, hey, let's stop at Fantasy Gifts. So that's why you stay till 11?
That's kind of a fun
it,
thing.
It has. That's one of the reasons it's really helped to be open to 8 on Sundays, because you finished your other shopping. And then you and then you stop in on your way home, because if you buy something at Fantasy Gifts, generally you don't want to wait to use it. I mean, I have this thing. I want to see how it works.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. It happened.
You don't get sort of that immediate gratification if you get something online either.
No. I mean, I'm
have to wait
I'm
for
thrilled.
the-
Yeah. I'm thrilled with our online sites, and they complement it great. But being able to go into a brick and mortar store, I don't really see the demise
Hold
of brick
the
and mortar
object in your
anytime.
hand
Yeah.
and look at,
Yeah, I mean, once you get familiar with the company, once you get familiar with what works for you, yeah. But that first education, that first going through there, yeah, I really believe people need to see a product in their hands.
If you know what you're after, it's probably fine to shop online. I did order something online one time, and it didn't look at all when it got home. Like, I looked back online.
It never does.
I know. It was It was gigantic. And I mean, I just somehow missed the dimensions. And I opened the box and I was like, oh my God. You know, and then I thought, I can't even throw this away because my neighbors are going to see it out there. What am I going to do?
Stick out of the garbage
I know.
can like a baguette.
It was awful.
Yeah,
A big pink baguette.
Yeah, we had
Sparkly pearls.
Yeah, we had an item that
Terrifying.
just came in, and it was so large. And even though Sarah, who does my internet, even though she took pictures and wrote the dimensions and did all that, she goes, "I got to come up with something." So she made a background and put a can of soda next to it, so you could really get the
gauge.
idea of
I like
how
that.
big and how thick this really was.
I like it.
Because we did not.
Sure.
Because you can write all the information you want, but you look online and all the pictures look the same size.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And it just, but that visualization
Perspective.
was definitely needed for this
Artists.
particular item.
Perspective.
Take it from me, who's had a vibrator accident. I like the brick
Really?
and mortar. Well, yeah, I bought the wrong size.
Oh, okay.
And they're not cheap, you know? So,
No, they're not.
So before, we've got a few minutes left, Colleen Kruse, and one of the things, the stories in the news, and you'll remember this from, you know, your bazillion radio programs that you've put together. I found something that I just couldn't resist throwing up against the two wits sitting next to me. There is an actual service now. They're called wedding ringers. Have you guys heard of this?
No.
Okay, wedding ringers. Okay, literally, and here's the website. I'll tell you so you can check it out. bridesmaidforhire.com. And they literally will come in and do all the stuff that your friends really don't want to do, or you don't want to make your friends do, like including but not limited to buy a dress that they don't want to wear, be your personal slave, and put up with your bridezilliness. And they offer all these different packages and different levels of service, starting out with just kind of wedding planning stuff, and then literally going all the way to standing up in your wedding and being in the pictures.
Wow.
I know. What do you guys think of that?
I'm thinking that if you do this, your marriage isn't going to last very long because you're focused on the event and not your life.
I think God bless America. You know, I mean,
but the business is a spectacular idea. I mean, I have been in a zillion weddings, and it is a lot of work. I loved it. They were some of my closest friends, but it's not not inexpensive.
no, $200 for a dress.
Oh, not in that. But, you know, the whole thing that I really hated, I mean, I've got major wedding fatigue. I mean, I'm just so tired of people, you know, drawing you into this whole big gala show. It's them on Broadway, you know, and instead of, you know, let's get together and celebrate this whole thing. But so I thought it was a pretty interesting idea. But this gal, Jen Glantz, who started it with her brother, she said she put an ad out on Craigslist and got so many responses. They're like, we're starting a company. And they were on Fox over the weekend.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Obviously,
know.
You want that kind of runaway success.
obviously
Well, clearly there's a market for it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
when I was just on the trip, I think there was a wedding or two a day down at this resort. I mean, it was,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and I'm pretty sure they all wore the same dress. Everyone had a lace sheath dress on because I guess that packs well.
Yeah.
But the one thing I did notice is that, you know, grown-ups without children
Act like children.
Oh, act like children.
Yeah.
Yeah, we overlooked the adult section of the pool. My daughter's like, grown-ups are stupid, and I'm like, yes, they are. But I said, but they're having fun, and they don't have any responsibilities here, so I'll give them a break.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. That's what vacation's for.
But I could, if I'd been younger, I would have signed up to do this.
Is that
So
right?
many weddings. I could show up. I could organize something.
Oh man.
I ended up having to put a cake together once. We got to the reception, and we were putting candles on the tables and put the flowers out, and the bakers show up and they drop off the cake in pieces, and then we realized that they had left.
And they didn't stack it?
They didn't stack it. They didn't decorate it. We're like,
Oh my God.
okay, I guess we're putting the cake together. I mean, the things that have just been thrown at me.
That's why you
at
need
friends' weddings.
Uh-huh.
Coverage.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather hire one. I mean, I don't know. I just think they've gotten so big that if you're going to do a big hoo-ha like that, then get staff, baby. Get staff.
Right.
I don't know. Well, you told a good story about fantasy gifts, going in and using it as show prep. Colleen, if someone were to give you like an improv assignment and turn you loose in one of the stores at Fantasy Gifts and say, all right, come out with something in, I don't know, an hour or 2 hours or whatever. It's like, what would you go in and look for fodder?
Oh gosh, there's always fun stuff there. Every time, and right now my favorite store is the downtown Minneapolis store. I really like that, and I really love the staff over there.
It's tucked in on A Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's on Hennepin.
And Hennepin in between 7th,
Yeah.
8th, and 9th,
It's on Hennepin.
near the saloon.
I like. Well, doing a bit with the stuff. Now all that stuff seems almost necessary to me. I do, I know you were talking with Liz earlier about the lingerie, and I love the lingerie section. Big fan of the lingerie section right now. And then that's a really hard question, actually. I'm surprised at how difficult that is for me to answer. What would I grab for an improv bit? If there's a food item, I know that you guys used to have penis pasta.
Still do?
Yeah, I'll probably do something with the penis pasta.
Yeah, the food novelties are what continue to sell because you can buy it, you can laugh at it, and they're edible.
Right.
Whereas a lot of the other novelties you bought it, you laugh at it, now what do I do with it?
Right,
exactly. And so, but like I said, we're very practical people here in the Midwest. And the penis pasta,
tuna noodle penis pasta.
Well, actually, it works better as long as it's a cold salad. My mom tested this out years ago. We were selling it, so she figured we might as well test it.
Sure.
And she discovered that it makes a much better cold salad.
Yes.
Than it does as a hot pasta product.
I'm sure that's true. Right.
Oh, but see, I want my mom. My mom's 80 and she's just a blast. I would love to just get some of that and make her something and not say anything and see if she figures it out.
Well, did you have the penis baking pan too? The little tiny
Yeah, the cupcakes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
Because I went in there and my neighbor was making some one day, and I had no idea she'd bought the pan. And I said, "Oh, rocket chips!" And she burst out laughing because I thought they were rocket chips. Birthday is it rocket chips? That's cute.
And you know what, little kids, depending on how you decorate it, they wouldn't know. It's like,
rocket chip.
repurpose. Yeah. No, I bet you guys wouldn't eat it though. Don't you just bet $1 million?
Well, some guys would.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, we have some that would.
Right.
And Michael's going to come back and help us with GLBT Valentine's Day stuff, right?
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday and said, "Why don't you come in next week so we can talk a little bit more with that because it has changed a lot like the wedding industry has." So,
indeed. Oh, yeah, they've had a huge effect. Michael, do you know Michael Radke that works with Colleen?
No.
Oh, he's hilarious. You got to meet him sometime. So, Colleen, I'm hoping that you'll come back. We had some interesting, more of new studio blues here and some fun hijinks around the studio today. But I hope you'll come visit with us again.
You bet.
Okay, I went and upcoming shows. Tonight, which is a little too soon for a lot of people. But
right.
what else is on the horizon for you?
Oh, for crying out loud! I'm doing a show at, I think it's the Schooner Bar on, it's a I Hate Valentine's Day comedy show with a bunch of great comics, Margaret Blaylock, Chuck Gollop. And right now that I have some stuff on the horizon, but it's a little bit farther out. So we'll just say the Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Okay, let's shoot for that, and then we'll hopefully have more exciting news about what you're doing next time.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Bertino, welcome home, and we'll be back with Michael and more goodies next week. Hopefully, we'll do actual 3D items. I want to see the heart butt plugs.
Hopefully they'll be in, and like I said, you can look online at our Facebook page because a lot of stuff we'll talk about, we will put links up, put more information up. Because I know the minute I get back to the office, they'll like, you forgot to say this. And I said, that's why we have the Facebook page.
Yeah.
So that we can get that information up for you.
Awesome. Well, have a great week, everybody. Colleen, both of the Colleens, we'll see you soon.
See ya.
Yep.